So, dear authors and my research foundation, it is my great information and communication technology for competitive strategies through Zoom. You'll enjoy. In this session, we have 8 presentation and each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and the 2 minutes for question answer. So please kindly request to all, please stick to the time limit, that is 8 minutes. On 7 minutes, we'll raise a gentle reminder for the conclude your presentation. There is another request to all, please stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And if you have any query and update, please let me know in the chat box. So just before we get started, I would like to introduce to all our chair of the session, Professor Geeta Navale. Professor Navale is working as a professor and the head of the department in computer engineering in Singham Institute of Technology and Science in Maharashtra, Pune. Also 30 plus international journal published and national conferences. She also published 3 research patents. So we welcome you, ma'am, in our technical session.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I would like to invite our first presenter, Kumar, and the paper title is Blockchain Technology in Healthcare.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Going to one present here. I am here to present my selected paper entitled Blockchain Technology in Healthcare. We will see about the idea of the whole concept in this paper. Let's get started with the abstract part. Blockchain is really a radical concept which is being used to provide novel ideas in a variety of industries, such as healthcare. It also has the ability to improve the efficiency, privacy, and openness of the healthcare system, medical data interchange. This technology helps medical institutions get insight and improve medical records analysis. We investigated blockchain technology and its huge potential in healthcare in this paper. Now we will come to introduction part. Blockchain technology is a distributed organization dedicated database that saves data on several computers in such a manner that no fact can be updated retrospectively without impacting succeeding blocks. Researchers have been striving to broaden the utility of blockchain beyond financial uses cases since its debut through Bitcoin. Following the October 2008 publishing of the cryptocurrency white paper, blockchain gained attention as a decentralized ledger system. Blockchain is a distributed ledger system that never updates or deletes entries without anonymous agreement. A computational hash that joins dynamically accurate and real-time block entries with each block of data determines the worth of a blockchain hash. By integrating health data to a blockchain system, the patient will keep responsible for keeping track as to where the information travels. Now, blockchain in healthcare. Blockchain is a great solution for safeguarding sensitive data within systems. This technology can connect dissimilar networks and give insights on the significance of individual therapy. The blockchain runs on demand over the web connection on such a P2P, peer-to-peer means computer network that all operate the protocol and also have an exact duplicate of the ledger of transaction, enabling machine consumption to enable peer-to-peer payment made without the necessity of an intermediary. There exist 4 different types of technology of blockchain: private, public, consortium, and hybrid, which are mentioned in this paper. And for this diagram, the figures give the country-wise detail of the publication and citation. Out of 118 countries, 62 meet the threshold. Now we will come to our advantages part. This section will discuss the patient related advantage and organization related benefits. First, we will talk about patient related advantages. Security and authorization are two such aspects of this system. Some researchers discovered that putting this patient at the heart of the system and utilizing blockchain to safeguard medical data over decentralized peer-to-peer network can increase health information security. Another further studies found that using timestamp which we are kept for each transaction, blockchain can help surgeons monitor patient data more easily. Now we will come to benefit of organization. Blockchain is well known for its organizational benefit. In addition to patient-related one, blockchain, according to academics, can enable secure patient data sharing with healthcare companies. Other studies look at the decentralized characters, which was found to be more essential factors ensuring a smooth interoperability between healthcare organization. Now for this diagram, out of 4,223 keywords, 77 meet the threshold and occurrence of blockchain in is 642 and occurrence of healthcare is 107. Now we will talk about risk in of blockchain in healthcare. The included studies identify 8 threats to this technology, which were distributed as technological, organization, or social threats. The sustainability of blockchain technology and scalability was constrained by the trade-off between computing power and transaction volume necessary to estimate the transactions. Authorization and security are intervened challenge in blockchain technology. Distributed ledger technology is vulnerable to cyber attacks such as top-level domain DNS assault and massive pool intrusion, in which exchanges are flooded, in which the adversary gains control of the blockchain system. Now we will go for social dangers. The most significant barrier to acceptance of this technology was public adoption. Surgical data decentralization and absence of trustworthy other party made it, though, for legal justification to provide entrance, stressing security as a genuine issue. Absence of dictatorship norms and standards work as a barrier to blockchain use in healthcare. Now we will talk about threat to the organizations. From an organizational standpoint, interoperability is main in the primary challenge of cryptocurrency deployment in the medical sector. Lack of interconnectivity and limited open standard contributed to the loss of integrity between parties, which makes it difficult for healthcare companies to exchange comprehensive health data. Now, blockchain technology realization. Benefit of the blockchain practices among the medical healthcare sector, including master patient indexes, demand adjustment, specialized medical logistics, accessibility, unique and longitudinal record collection, and so on. Distributed network, digitization transaction, and digital ledger allowed for the interaction between work process flow, which enable blockchain drivers to produce better, healthier medical care than ever. Now we will talk about healthcare blockchain applications. This technology is comparatively young and growing technology with brand new and exciting use case in healthcare. Smooth, quick sharing of data and transmission among all major broadcast users and healthcare professionals aid in the creation of cost-effective drugs and sophisticated therapies for a variety of conditions. The benefit of blockchain in this transportation industry and also some merits of this technology are in the medical sector have recently been demonstrated given the media frenzy that many difficulties are imagined to be solved by blockchain. A mapping of application domain in this industry wherein these are important will aid practitioner academic in concentrating their attention on those practices and programs of blockchain applicability in the sector. Now I will conclude the part. Because of its strict encryption and decentralization, blockchain has a revolutionary potential in healthcare. It promotes interoperability among healthcare faculty and aids in the right fight against conflict defense department medication by improving the security of patient electronic patient records. Engineer the adoption and implementation of health data and ramping up the private information of patient computerized medical data. The ecosystem adoption of connected new material is important in to blockchain promises in healthcare. It includes system management, insurance, coverage, medication tracing, and clinical researches. Healthcare faculty may track their service may track their services used using given blockchain architecture that include devices tracking throughout the life cycle. These are the references from iTaking. Thank you. This is from my side.
Hello, Akshay.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Which algorithm you have used?
Sorry.
Which algorithm you have used
For
for this healthcare care implementation?
now it is
Or rather, the
uh,
question will be blockchain uses which algorithm?
it uses ledger like block. It is a whole network where there are
Yeah, yeah.
different
For encryption, decryption, which algorithm you used?
algorithm.
Yes. Did you get the question?
Yes, ma'am. Algorithm used for this
Yeah, yeah,
blockchain.
yeah. How you are doing encryption? Okay, nowadays blockchain is used everywhere, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you think that or this statement is correct? It is used everywhere.
Uh, it is not used everywhere. Like most of the sectors, it is being used because of its security and decentralized properties. Like there
But
is no some no one someone.
whatever right
Sorry.
now the system which we are using, even for banking purposes, uh,
Yes.
um, you can say above that blockchain use of blockchain is more secure, but still people hesitate to use the blockchain. Can you
Yes.
give the reason why?
I think because of its security and it is very new to the market, so they don't trust this blockchain technology, and they are very traditional technology. That's why they prefer old one, and it will take time for blockchain to come in the market and people start trusting this blockchain.
Okay, thank you, Akshay.
Okay, thank you, Akshay. So our next presenter is Dipti Chopra, and the paper title is Challenges in IoT in Higher Education.
Okay, yeah, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Deepti Chopra. I'll just share the screen.
Okay, ma'am.
It's not allowing me to share the desktop.
What is the problem?
It's not allowing me to share the desktop screen. It's asking open system preferences and security and privacy to grant the access. Okay, then security and privacy to access the locations, contacts, calendars, camera, microphone, accessibility. Can you please take some other, the next can, I can give it from my mobile. I just need to download
Okay,
it. Yeah,
okay, ma'am, no problem.
thanks.
So our next presenter is Yong Tuan, and the paper title is Clean Room System for the Malware Analysis. Yes, sir, you may please start your presentation.
Hi everyone, I'm Donang. Good to see you all. Today I want to say a few words about my research, clean room system for manual analysis. My presentation is divided into four parts. Start with introduction, methodology, is a design discussion, and finally is conclusion and future work. I'd be grateful if you could ask your question after my presentation. move to the first part of my talk, which is about introduction. Infiltrating, stealing information, and cyber warfare is an existing trend in recent years. The trend of using malicious code as an interesting tool to collect information. Large corporations and criminals. There have been many plans to prevent malicious code, such as firewall, antivirus, EDR. Some large organizations, such as government or military, have set up specialized departments to analyze malicious code, but it is not enough. According to our survey, specialized department for malware analysis are not fully equipped with specialized tools to analyze and find the source of malicious code. They do not have a specific process, and they also lack a human resource to implement. Our research provides a toolkit of solution to have malware analysis department have a close process as well as full tool for malware analysis and to maximize their resource organization. So now we come to the next point, our methodology. My solution clean room system for malware analysis, in which there are many different software components of the system, and is divided into two main areas. Isolate area and knowledge connection area. In the isolate area, the mission of this area is to receive malicious code sample, copy, archive, analyze by way to process and transfer information to the knowledge connection area. And in the knowledge connection area, this is the area in process to use the network detection tool to find the source, classify the malicious code, and finally generate a report. I will explain our malware analysis process. When we receive a suspicious file from a hard driver or a user's computer is infected with malicious code, they will bring them into the isolate area. In this area, we will process to read the virtual machine based on device. They often then we will scan all the data on that virtual machine to be able to classify suspicious files. On suspicious file will be put into static analysis using software like EDR Pro or dynamic analysis like Sandbox to able to determine that it is malicious code and how it works. Next, we will bring information about those malicious code sample to the knowledge connection area to find way to handle and find the source of the malicious file belonging to it organization. And finally, we will generate a report and store it in our database. Here you can see the software or tools that we recommend in this research. The first is VMware vSphere. Next is Nizademi, is hardware to make a copy or a hard driver USB USB containing malicious code. The next is CyberTrace and BFC and FakeDNS here is the software to create a virtual network connection without connection to the outside network. Connected Wi-Fi. Here's a network packet analysis software. Next is IDEA. Here's a static manual analysis software. And the last in the internet area is capacity research and log. Here's a dynamic manual analysis. In the knowledge connection area, we have capacity track attribution and link. And the capacity track account. And the last is the manual information storage software. Here is the self-development. Here is the software to manage information to analyze analysis, code, sample, and generate a report. Result. Here is my result first. We scan an infected computer with cybercheck software, and here are the results with suspicious file. We put in capacity sandbox so that it can analyze whether those files are really malicious or not. This is the final result. When we put the manual information into the attributed engine tool, and it shows which group of hacker release this malicious code like this. Here you can see this file is or menu script and 100%. In the future, I want to improve this process by adding some more tools. In addition, I want to make our entire process available to organization that specialize in manual research, so that they can reduce resource as well as have a complete toolkit for manual analysis. So it's all about my research. Thank you for listening.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, ma'am.
How your system will be different from the traditional malware handling system?
Currently I'm working at a company that distributed security solution at a pre-sale. So I have been exposed to many different security solutions. However, when I go to my customer to consume my company solution, I realize that the manual analysis do not have a clear process and best solution for solving malware research problem. So that's why I wrote this article.
Then will it be overhead?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Ms. Dr. Deepti Chopra, are you ready for the presentation? Hello, Deepti, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Actually, I'm not able to share the screen. Log in from my mobile. I'll just share it now. Yeah. So I'm Dr. Deepti Chopra. I'm associate professor at GIMS Sector 5 Rohini, and my co-author is Dr. Praveen Arora. She's Dean IP affiliated courses, GIMS Rohini Sector 5, Delhi. And our topic is challenges in IoT in higher education. So basically, IoT has contributed tremendously to the development of society by contributing in the field of communication and information technology. In recent times, there has been tremendous growth in the field of IT, and that is, you can say, this is because of COVID that has impacted. That a lot of changes have been done in the recent years. Like everything has been impacted by IT. Right. So, be it work from home, even the students' education has been using the, IT. Everything has IT has taken the control. Right. So in recent times, there has been unimaginable success, specifically in the IT and education sector. So this paper discusses how to maximize the impact and benefits of IoT in higher education and minimize the risk involved. Okay. So Internet of People can be defined as the process of connecting people and the things on the internet. IoT has brought about a technological revolution that involves interaction between people, things, and the environment. Using the internet and online meetings, it has become possible to conduct online classes, workshops, seminars, conferences, examinations, etc. very easily, effectively, and without any hassles. Now, IoT is a global network that connects things, devices, and objects to the internet and communicates within an external or internal environment. It involves the exchange of information through information sensing devices using specific protocols. So this is shown in this figure 1. So basically, IoT is involved in all these tasks such as lighting at home. So we just say that please switch on the light, green light. So it will switch on the green light or something, or make the dimming, twinkling sort of lights, then it will make that. So according to the command that is given, that is going to make the decor of the room. The smartphones are there, then flight services, in wearable technology, okay, be it your, anything, uh, watches, smart watches, or PDS, or these home applications, personal computers, analytics. In analytics also, IoT is highly involved. Okay, so we can just say that how many COVID patients are there in this area, or something that we can just generate. In music, in online shopping, everywhere IoT is involved. Okay, so IoT defined as a global network. So it is extension of internet-based network that provides an extension of human to things, human to human, and things to things communication. So this is shown in figure 2. So basically, it is known as Internet of Everything. So IoT is basically Internet of Everything. So here people are involved, data is involved, processes involved, things are involved, and there is a interdependence between all of them. So Internet of Everything provides insight into fact that today the internet rules every component. Human beings, processes, things, and also relationships exist among themselves. So basically, IoT has various applications. It is in agriculture, in irrigation, okay, in transport, in agriculture, like it has empowered millions of illiterate farmers with information about the, best and worst yields. In irrigation, plays an important role, tells information about the government policies. In transport, in the field of transport, for the timely and safe travel of goods and persons, gives information. Groundwater management, waste management. In smart cities, okay, so it is used in waste management as well. IoT has played in avoiding major accidents, traffic jams, and help all the commuters to take advantage of smooth and convenient travel. Smart cities, IoT has played an important role in realizing the dream of smart city. The objective of smart cities is to improve the quality of life of the common people by providing improvement in the local area, which also improves the economic development, manufacturing, environment monitoring, energy management, smart homes, and animal husbandry, education, education. Okay, so IoT in higher education may be used in using the in using the IoT It is using IoT, students can be issued smart cards and have access to college campus, laboratories, library, and classrooms. When a student enters the college campus, he gets information from the library about the timetable, class, and availability of books required for him. IoT can be used to monitor the student attendance. In students' health can be monitored. IoT devices will be able to monitor and control the laboratory equipment. So this is the diagram of benefits of IoT in higher education. So there are challenges in IoT in higher education. So we have the big data explosion can be major issue in future, which may result in internet connected devices. Connectivity standards are still required for many wired and wireless devices. Availability of high speed internet facility at a given location is also one of the challenge. And the lack of high internet speed can lend to system error. Maintaining the quality in teaching and evaluation of students is major challenge. It is important to maintain the error-free and authorized access to each data. Increase in cost due to the advance in information technology. So some of the components of IoT are, one is the sensors, the cloud connectivity, processing the data, user interface. Okay, so these are the components of IoT. We have the future of IoT in higher education. There is a need to change the mindset of teachers, students, and parents about new progress and the adoption of this new change in our education system. With the advancement in the education system and the introduction of IoT, the need for physical presence has become null. Due to IoT, the learning process has also greatly impacted the students, and the faculties have access to the international tools. Now more contemporary methods such as the practical based teaching learning, which includes the live examples, is there. IoT will help students, faculty, and teachers from around the world collaborate better and take advantage of the rich research opportunities. It is based on connecting various gadgets with on off buttons. So it will save the time of manual attendance marking and will help teachers to formulate their lesson plans. So we have designed certain research gaps. Okay, so one of the research gap is that although IoT is a novice and emerging field, especially in the education system, there are many devices like camera, sensors, preprocessors, actuators, etc. And all these components need to be made available for an individual classroom or laboratory. So this is one of the bottleneck. In this regard, there is a need for larger research on which technology and subset of components we need to be used together to create an intelligent education system. Another research gap we have found is that teachers, students, and researchers have have dependency on IoT for the purpose of acquiring knowledge. But the knowledge once shared can also be accessed by people outside the campus of the institute. It is also security, economic, and privacy threat. Moreover, there is a huge power consumption and bandwidth usage in running these IoT-based devices. Therefore, a lot of research can be done in this regard, and a solution can be found to include the security and effective IoT usage aspect as well. Research gap 3 that we have found is that the education system, when combined with IoT, involves huge complexity in terms of hardware, software, and communication. There's a need to research and build an intelligent system, and similar system can be used in similar applications with few or more modifications. The results and discussions. So we have found that students are increasingly moving from paper-based documents to tablets, smartphones, laptops. We have conducted questionnaires of 480 students of BA Eco, BBA, BCA, MCA, with 200 questions were asked related to the impact of IoT on education system. All the students said that they have a smartphone. Out of 1200 students, 1187 students had their own laptop, which is equal to 98.9%. Out of 1200 students, 1048 students confirmed that the collaborative activities using IoT can take place. The remaining 152 believe that the introduction of IoT influenced the collaborative activities. We've also distributed the same questionnaires among 50 teachers and found that 40 out of 50 teachers believe that the introduction of IoT has made the method of teaching more efficient and more student-centered. Teachers are able to efficiently focus on individual students. In addition, mobile devices help students access course material, projects, quizzes, ebooks, quizzes, then projects, as well as the view the videos of the labs and the course materials. From the questionnaire, it is found that 82% of the students want to use mobile devices in their classrooms, and also with wish to perform automated tasks such as taking notes, checking timetable, research, etc. Companies such as Green Tech Media, Smart, and IBM have shown their interest in introducing IoT to academia and developing smart university projects. Recently, Google has launched Google Apps, which show students and faculty to share their documents online and make changes in real time on screen. There are many aspects of IoT that are positive for academics and will continue to drive the learning processes. So, but there is a negative impact of IoT on education also, which includes the availability of incomplete and incorrect information as well as the reports of plagiarism. So, in conclusion, we would like to say that IoT has a great impact on our daily lives. It has a great impact on the development of our country and thus improves the fiscal growth. It is a new field, although there's a lot of challenges accepting the new technology as a part and parcel of our life. But with a little effort and dedication, it is absolutely possible. In, in this paper, we have seen that IoT is of great importance in the higher education. There are a lot of challenges in introducing the IoT in higher education, but if we overcome these challenges, the quality of education would definitely improve. We need to incorporate IoT in higher education as IoT helps in introducing the security aspects into the application, reducing the human involvement, reducing the processing time, and delivering the great results. So these are the references being used for the paper. And so, yeah, thank you.
Hello, Dr. Dipti.
Yeah.
How IoT can be used in preparing the teaching plan?
Teaching plan, not exactly like we can just, it will be helpful in plan would be done by the teachers itself, but it would be helpful in disseminating the information or the knowledge of the teachers to the student very easily. Okay, even if like in case of like in the past when it was COVID impacted, so in that case it was very difficult for the teachers to have a take a look into the performance of each and every student, to be in contact with them, to be able to send each and every letters, notes to them. So that was the problem. So this uh, this could IoT could help in disseminating the information very easily, even if the
Okay,
students are out of the campus. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dipti.
Yeah.
So our next presenter is Mandira Tandon, and the paper title is Data Visualization Using R Language.
Good afternoon. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So good afternoon everyone. I'm Mandar Tandon and I'm going to present my PPT on the topic data visualization using our language. So data visualization is a topic concerned with the depiction of data presenting graphically. This version can be regarded as a mapping between the original data and the graphic element from the educational point of view. When the data changes, the mapping describes how the quality of the thing changes. Because of the graphic design of the mapping can determine the reading of a chart, mapping in a vital component of the data visualization. Data visualization is the graphical picture and pictorial display of data. Data visualization and statistical graphic are often conceived of as latest advancement in statistics and relative move hand in hand. Process of creating a research objective and acquiring data, cleansing data, and picking up chart type and tool evaluating the information and ultimately building a chart are the most basic tool and basic step in visualize analysis. It enables viewers to view analysis in a visual format. In fact, the pictorial representation make it easier for viewers to grasp difficult concepts or spot news patterns. The several practitioners and academics from various fields must collaborate graphical representation of data. Data visualization plays an important role in business intelligence as it is designed to nurture insight. Many professionals and a variety of other fields require the ability to visualize and analyze the data graphically. The massive volumes of data need to be displayed in a clear and accessible manner so that an everyday companies or business produce a huge amount of data. There is now far more content available on the internet. Visualization, studying, and utilizing such huge amount of data is difficult for users. When the data is a vast, as in time series, it is the convenient and the efficient way of conveying the data. The data visualization technique like chart, plots, and graphs helps in absorbing the massive amount of data in a more clear and understandable way, in a comparison to reports, articles, and spreadsheets. To process or grasp the information in a human eye in a more effective way, we need data visualization technique. There are several techniques and ways to visualize the data, and choosing the right chart of your data depends on the variable you are working at and what you want to get out of your data. Some of are the following we are going to discuss. Like first, start with the tree map. It is basically the space filling visualization of hierarchical data and the basis for this method and as the term implies there is a need for a data element must be linked hierarchically. It displays data in the form of stacked rectangles. A row rectangle represents the tree map, which is split into the different groups, which are represented by tiny rectangular boxes and correlate to the data component in a collection. The large rectangle represent a branch of a tree, and the subdivided smaller rectangular represented the node of the branch. This method can exhibit two data parameters in the visualization. The first parameter is that it utilized in the computation of a space volume, which depict the size of the user defined attribute. And the second parameter is the color that is used to group the shape which is represent.
Sorry for the interruption, but you are running up to 2 times, ma'am. Hello. Hello, Mandira.
This technique is great for highlighting the contribution of each item to the whole. Tree maps are commonly used for the sales data as they use relative size and color criteria to represent data. They are mainly found on dashboard so that visual variety can be added on a dashboard. Tree maps helps in a wide variety of business analysis application in finance field as well in the commercial ground too. This is the code we are using in the R language, and by this code, a data frame is created, and then we use gplot to plot our tree map. The scatter plot can be called as scatter chart or scatter graph, scatter diagram. The scatter plot depicts data by depicting each data point as a point. They are drawn on a plane with two axes chosen from the data spaces axis, that is horizontal and vertical axis. This chart shows the relationship between two variables. One is independent and the other is dependent variable of the piece of information. This plot basically shows the relationship between the two variables. This also helps us to know whether the relationship between the variables are strong linear or non-linear. The scatter plots are partially useful since they provide comprehensive overview of the data effectively display data correlation. They are one of the more well-known method information visualization and the simple to use it. Pie chart. In a pie chart is represented in a circular chart, and this circular chart is further divided into slices, which shows the size of the data. These slices can be known as sectors. This is the most commonly used chart to view real life information in circle square. The pie symbolizes the entire data, while the slice out of the pie symbolizes the individual data point. Each circle in the pie chart represents a portion in a whole quantity. Whenever of the data is to be represented as a fractional, we use the pie chart. Majority of the time, the data is displayed as a percentage. There are many variations of the pie chart, and these are the donut chart. In these, they have a hollow in the center, exploding pie chart. And this the variation, the slice or the segment or sector are extracted or separated from the rest of the chart. Multi-level pie chart. In this chart, there are numbers of reasonable levels. Removing slices. With this technique, the chart is visualized with the omitting slices. The next technique will be the bar chart. The bar chart typically
Mandira, you're running out of time. Please conclude.
With the advancement of data visualization in the field of statistics, many businesses use this advanced analysis or actionable insight. It is the strategy of interpreting the outcomes of the search in a variety of ways to make decision making more practical and productive. There are plenty of the data visualization tools. The reason behind choosing the R is that the statistical and the graphical programming language frequently use data visualization because of its packages provide flexibility and need less coding. It provides an outline of data visualization in clear the introduction while outlining with the technique, and we have extracted the outcomes of several charts and graphs and maps using our coding. The goal of this study is to undertake an exploring into investigation into the topic of visual analysis with the priority on recognizing its value as well as efficiency and productivity. Thank you, and that's all from my side.
Yeah. Thank you so much. No question from my side.
So next presenter is Vyom Shah, and the paper title is Exploring Cybersecurity Issues in the Internet of Healthcare Things with the Potential Improvement.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
And is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So to begin with, good afternoon. I'll be presenting our paper titled Exploring Cybersecurity Issues in the Internet of Healthcare Things with Potential Improvements. And the paper ID is 186. So first of all is the agenda, what we'll be following. So firstly, we have the introduction, followed by the application and services of the devices which we have covered. Next, we have the security solutions which are currently in use, followed by the solutions which we have proposed. Then we'll conclude with a summary and future directions. So the paper focuses on what could be considered a specific use case of IoT, which is the Internet of Healthcare Things. We have examined existing security mechanisms and have suggested potential improvements for the same. So the devices which we have taken into consideration consist of the IT bra, infusion pumps, pacemakers, smart inhalers, and the blood pressure monitors. So now to give an overview of the devices which we have considered, the IT bra helps women determine breast cancer in the early stages and uses algorithms to differentiate between benign and malignant profiles. The infusion pumps are used to give a patient the fluid they require using Arduino. There are plenty of options such as the flow direction, flow rate, syringe brand, and size. Next up, the pacemakers are placed in the heart chamber to assist with blood pumping and consist of various components such as sensors, and a computerized generator. Next, we have the smart inhaler. So first of all, inhaler is commonly observed among asthma patients, and a smart inhaler assists users in determining the asthma attacks and records certain crucial parameters. And the next device is a blood pressure monitor, which will make use of wireless technology from the monitor to mobile devices, and so physicians can directly access the patient's data. Next, we move to the existing solutions which are currently in place. So symmetric cryptography is where the key for both encryption and decryption is the same and is observed in the ITBRA. The issue which arises is that there is a single key, making it easy to intercept. Next up, we have the file transfer protocol, which is used for file transfer in infusion pumps regarding the medical records of the patient. So the protocol is considered insecure as plain text username passwords are used. Next up, we have Telnet, which is also used in infusion pumps along with FTP and enables the sending of files via the internet. As in FTP, the data is left unencrypted, and so it is easy to intercept. SDN is used in pacemakers and has the role of securing the data as it moves in the network. But a major security flaw is that of a DOS or denial of service attack. Next up, we have the Bluetooth connectivity protocol, and Bluetooth is something which we use in our daily life and is used in smart inhalers to send important data. This is also not that secure and is prone to attacks such as DOS or denial of service and eavesdropping as well. Next up, we have the AES CMAC algorithm, which is used in blood pressure monitors. Now, this is generally considered to be secured, but if the key is identified, then the data would be compromised, and so it can be manipulated for nefarious purposes. Now, following this, we have some of the solutions which we have proposed. So these would be changes in the protocols to enhance the security and boost it. So for the ITBRA, we could use asymmetric encryption, which is in place of symmetric encryption, we would use two different keys. In the case of infusion pumps, we could switch to SSH, which is a secure shell, and FTPS, as they make use of public key encryption as well. In pacemakers, SDN could be improved by concatenating the data link layer, control link layer, and using encryption mechanism. Smart inhalers, which make use of Bluetooth using the safer block cipher, could be replaced by NFCs or near field communication, as it works at shorter distances and uses via point-to-point contact. So the devices have to be in contact with each other to connect initially. Then moving on to the final device, which is blood pressure monitors. It currently uses AES-CMAC, which is a cipher-based message authentication code. But in place of that, we could use AES-HMAC, which is where the key is hashed to make it more secure. And so the data will be hashed, so it is more difficult to intercept. Next up, so just to conclude, the paper aims to analyze some crucial security flaws and provide some alternatives to them. We could currently implement the protocols mentioned, and in the future, technology such as blockchain could be used to encrypt the patient data and make it more secure. And so as IoT research progresses in various subparts, IoHD devices will also have a brighter future. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, Vyom?
Yeah, hello.
Yes. Whatever current protocols that are suggested by you, what are the disadvantages of it?
So all the protocols. So basically, when we come to symmetric cryptography, let's say, then they're only making use of one key, which is, so the sender and receiver both have the same key, right? So in that case, if one were to intercept that key, they could encrypt and decrypt both. They could have access to the entire data chain and could manipulate the patient's data and perform an attack. But in the case of asymmetric cryptography, you would have the user's private key and also the public key. So in this way, the receiver would also have access to one key and the sender would have access to the other. So it would be more difficult for one to have access to both of them, making it more secure. And then if you consider another protocol such as Bluetooth, then Bluetooth has a bit of a longer range, and the data transmission channel is less secure as compared to NFCs, which are point-to-point contact oriented. So to connect the devices must first touch, following which they will be connected. So third-party devices are easier, make it more difficult for third-party devices to intercept them.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. And the next presenter is Naman Kaur, and the present title is Logistic Regression, a Basic Approach.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
And ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, please start.
Good afternoon, everyone. And the paper ID for my review paper is 179, and the paper name is Logistic Regression, a Basic Approach. So the contents I'll be covering are, firstly, I'll be discussing the abstract of my paper, then the introduction, then I'll actually be defining what actually logistic regression is. Then I'll be cross-examining what was the need of logistic regression when linear regression was already present there. And then I'll be discussing the independent variable which are selected in logistic regression, what are the conditions for that, and the extension for logistic regression models, then my conclusion and the references. So talking about the abstract, when we specifically talk about mining the data and when we are categorizing our data binary, so logistic regression is mostly used in such kind of procedures. Moreover, this is mostly used with dichromatous dependent variables, and this is also applicable to multiple dependent variables. So the goal of this is to entirely to get the entire overview of a logistic regression and what is the model, why logistic regression if linear regression was already present there, and number of independent variables and how to select these independent variables and what are the benefits of this. And the paper actually aims, as it is stated earlier, that it will provide an overview of logistic regression with some components which are significant for data modeling. Coming to the introduction part, logistic regression is a strategy which deals with the data set and study which one or more independent variables we want to study. As there are only two outcome variables, so this gives an output as a binomial responses variables. So logistic regression finds the best model where or which fits the best for the independent factors we have, and the formula which we create is on the basis of the coefficients, and later on it forms the logic transformation function, and which shows what is the probability of a particular function or a feature which is present in the function. So talking about logistic regression, now actually defining the logistic regression. So logistic regression is actually a supervised machine learning algorithm, which is actually used to foretell what occurrences are happening in the future and for a given event or for a class. So in this technique, what the data is linearly divisible and gives the output in dichromatous or binary output. So in this result, logistic regression is generally used for tasks which are binary classified, and binary classification can be stated as predicting on the basis of two classes which are discrete based on provides an output variable for this. For example, binary classification can be stated as if we are giving a result on the basis of yes or no, or if we are defining whether a student or you have given some sort of exam, whether you are pass or fail in that examination, or for a game or for anything, whether you are winning or losing. And if we talk about medical aspect, if you have cancer or not, the features which you have defines whether the features are cancerous or non-cancerous. So defining logistic regression. As stated earlier, that linear regression and logistic regression has various similarities, like both are supervised machine learning algorithms, and linear regression and logistic regression, both the models are parametric regressions. That is, both the models use linear equations for the predictions, but they have various differences. Like linear regression is used to handle regression problems, whereas logistic regression is used to handle classification problems. And linear regression provides a continuous output, whereas logistic regression can give a classified result for that particular data set. As in the given graph, I have also shown that sometimes when we have the data which is divided into two parts, so when we divide that graph linearly, most of the data points remains untouched with this. But when we are using sigmoid graph, which is representing that with logistic regression, that touches most of the data points, so we give a approximately, or the result which we give is more important there. So the independent variable. So when we are selecting the independent variable, there are two main important things which we need to keep in mind. One is the selection criteria, and the second is the number of variables. So the selection criteria, this is
time. Please try to conclude.
okay, ma'am. So what are the major research findings? The major research findings were that we need to formulate a hypothesis which is therapeutically relevant and objectively qualifiable, and we need to adopt an approach method and a statistical inspection plan. This helps in presenting results and conclusions. And to get a well-designed and well-executed plan results, we need to pay a lot more attention to the parameters which we are using for logistic regression analysis. And concluding, as logistic regression is actually a symmetric and powerful method for examining independent factors contribute to a binary results. Its precision is largely dependent on selecting variables carefully and the correct option for making a plan of action, building on the model and verification of results. And it is a valuable tool as it enables for examination of several explanatory variables. At the same time, while minimizing the impact of co-founding variables, on which the model does not want to depend, because that are not important for the results. These are the references. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Naman. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is Sarvesh Sawant, and the paper title is a privacy preserving algorithm for the blockchain based IoT system.
Yeah, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good afternoon to one and all. My name is Sarvesh Sawant. I'm a student of VGT Tech Electronics, and my topic of presentation is a privacy preserving algorithm for blockchain-based IoT system. So first we will see, just a second. First, we will see the presentation outline, that is introduction, literature review, proposed methodology, simulation and results, conclusion, and references. So introduction, the Industrial Internet of Things, also known as IIoT, is an application of smart sensors and actuators to improve the manufacturing and industrial operation. It is also known as Industry 4.0. It is a technology that harnesses the power of smart machine and real-time analytics to make use of the data that a dumb machine has been producing in industrial settings for years. The driving psychology behind Industrial Internet of Things is that a smart machine is not only better than humans at collecting and analyzing the data in real time, but they are also better at communicating important information that can be used to drive the business decision more quickly and accurately. So this is a model of industrial IoT. As we can see, there is a central authority and there are a number of branches. Branches are considered to be a full-fledged factory. They consist of the database, IoT, and machine learning. Branches train their data locally, and then they will share it to the central authority. Central authority collects data from all the branches, and it will convert that local model into a global model with the help of model federation. So literature review, the industrial Internet of Things is revolutionizing many critical industrial sectors, including energy, agriculture, banking, transportation, and healthcare. IoT makes considerable use of the machine learning to utilize a massive volume of data. It is a primary driving element behind the Industry 4.0. But this machine learning model built on the sensitive data, on the other hand, have the potential to expose the data to the adversarial attacks, limiting its full potential in Industry 4.0. So for the privacy and trustworthiness of IoT data, a differential privacy, federated machine learning, Ethereum blockchain, smart contract is employed as a part of IoT data privacy architecture. In this asymmetric encryption algorithm was used earlier for the encryption purpose, but I have proposed an RSA algorithm to be used for encryption and decryption, as it is an asymmetric encryption technique that is used for that also uses a random number generator. So the problem formulation is to analyze a massive quantity of data, such as those produced by industrial IoT-based system, and to use the extracted knowledge to aid real-time decision-making in complex situations. My proposed work follows to reduce the slow encryption and decryption time of the collected data, to increase the privacy of the collected data, and by replacing AES algorithm by RSA algorithm to reduce the encryption and decryption speed. These are the 5 pillars of trust for the IoT system. They include privacy, security, reliability, safety, and resilience. And they provide safety from the threats like data tampering, spoofing identity, repudiation, information disclosure, denial of service, and evaluation of the privilege. AES algorithm. AES algorithm is a symmetric algorithm. That means it has only one key for encryption and decryption. And it uses the plain text in block of 128 bits and convert them into a ciphertext using the keys of 128, 192, and 256 bits. Then there is a RSA algorithm that I have used. RSA is an asymmetric algorithm. That means it has two keys, a public key and a private key. As the name suggests, public key is made public while the private key is kept private, and both the keys are mathematically linked to each other. So the RSA algorithm, a sender will send it data, it will be converted into a ciphertext, and the receiver can decrypt the data with the help of the private key, and he will receive the data. So the encryption formula is that C is equals to P raised to E modern, where C stands for ciphertext, P is a plain text, and E is an public exponent. While decryption formula C is equals to P is equals to C raised to D modern, where P stands for plain text, C is in ciphertext, and D is in private key. So I've used a convolutional neural network. So convolutional neural network, is also known as CNN, is a method of computer vision. It is used to recognize digits, numbers from the pictures. So this is how I've used an MNIST data set that consists of 0 to 9 numbers. So when we give an input to the data, there are two filters, convolution layer 1 and the convolution layer 2. And with the help of the indexing number, it will gives us the output. So as we can see, one where the number is darker, it will give 1, and where the number is lighter, it will give a range where the range value ranges from 0 to 0.9. So this is a pre-mod architectural diagram of my project, a privacy preserving trustworthy machine learning model training sharing framework for the blockchain. As you can see in the diagram, there are off-chain and on-chain. On-chain refers to storing data in the blockchain, whereas off-chain refers to storing data in IPFS. IPFS stands for Interplanetary File System. It is used to store and share larger files. So first, the distinct, that is a branch, will train the data locally, and they will provide a differential privacy to their data. Differential privacy provides a strong level of privacy by minimizing the likelihood of individual record identification. So once the data is given differential privacy, it is encrypted with the public key encryption, and then this data is transferred to the IPFS. IPFS will provide us the hash code of the data stored in it. Hash code is basically the memory location of the data that is stored in IPFS. Then we will store that IPFS hash code into the blockchain with the help of the smart contract. After this, a central authority will collect all the data from the distant data and its branches, and will collect that local data into a federated model with the help of federated modeling parameter. Then the data will be again transferred to IPFS, interplanetary file system, and we will receive the memory location in form of hash code. that we can save in blockchain. This, as we can see in the diagram, each layer provide a strong level of privacy and security to the data. So at the end, our data will be 100% secure and safe. So this is a model of my the simulation result. So first we will upload a MNIST dataset learning model. If it is present, it will verify the model. If it is not, then there is no further process. If it is present, it will generate a central authority key. Then it will distinct and encrypt. It will encrypt the data and will save it into IPFS. With encryption is done with the help of AES and RSA algorithm. Then it will save the data, the hash code into the blockchain, and we can click on the decrypt model and classify the digit where we can find the digit that we have selected. At the end, it will gives us the difference between the encryption and decryption between the AES and RSA by clicking on extension privacy preserving algorithm. So this is my GUI model that I have designed. First, we will click on upload MNIST deep learning model. After it is uploaded, we can see the weight.h model is loaded. Then we will click on generate central authority key. After the generating central authority key, we will receive a key that will save in IPFS. So after storing it into the IPFS, we will receive the hash code, and we can also see the AES encryption time, that is 9 seconds for the encryption. Then we will store this key into the blockchain by clicking on save hash code into the blockchain, where we can see the previous block hashes and the current block hashes. So after sharing it into the blockchain, we will click on decrypt model and classify the digit. So the digit will be classified and we will get output as 4. After this, we will do the same process with the help of RSA, and we will get a difference between the two in terms of seconds. So as we can see, the AES takes around 10 seconds to encrypt and decrypt the model, whereas RSA takes around 1 to 2 seconds to do the same process. So the conclusion is I proposed a framework called a Primor chain that is used for the trustworthy machine learning and sharing in IoT settings. A Primor chain uses the concept of smart contract, blockchain, federated learning, differential privacy, interplanetary file system to enforce privacy and trustworthiness to the machine learning in industrial IoT settings. Also, by replacing AES by RSA, we increase the encryption and decryption speed of the data. These are some of the references that I have referred. Thank you.
Sarvesh, nice
Yeah.
presentation. Huh? Nice
Thank you, ma'am.
presentation. Did you try any other algorithm before trying RSA, and then you have come down to the conclusion that you should go for RSA?
Ma'am, I have tried AES. So to increase the security,
AES
because
actually it is tried by other authors.
yeah,
You mentioned that
it
in
is
literature
yes,
survey.
yes,
Yeah.
it was already
So
tried
and
by the
then
other.
you come up with the RSA. So why RSA only?
Because ma'am, RSA is an
Why not
asymmetric
any
algorithm.
other encryption algorithm?
Yeah, ma'am. When I researched about it, I found that RSA is an asymmetric algorithm. That means it has one public key and a private key. So to increase the security of the data, I chose RSA.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So next presenter is Rahul Negi, and the title is a review on blockchain in Bitcoin security.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Rahul, and my paper is on the topic of blockchain in Bitcoin security, and my paper ID is 170. And here's are the contents I'm going to cover in this PPT, which I have done in my paper: abstract, introduction, blockchain technology features, synopsis of blockchain technology, blockchain classification, privacy and security properties of blockchain, working on Bitcoin blockchain, conclusion, and after that references. First of all, what I have done in abstract, that blockchain is a technology that proposed to enable decentralized currency. In this study, we have provided insight in the security problems and risks associated with blockchain installations. The nodes in the network produce, add, or authenticate blocks of data. It The use of blockchain technology across a range of manufacturing sectors has risen in recent years. It offers many types of data access, connectivity, accountability, and authentication. Now, come to the next slide. In introduction, blockchain cloud computing is relatively new development and accessible and network secure computing that does not rely on central authority. From the perspective of data management, blockchain network tracks the growing list of public accounts by arranging there into a recursive chain of blocks. Bitcoin was the first blockchain network is in practical use and was in the public ledger. Bitcoin uses blockchain technology across a decentralized network of computers to securely verify, confirm, and record each transaction. Blockchain technology features in these we have two terms like decentralization and network distribution. For Bitcoin, decentralization. So for blockchain, we use decentralization. It is a process of moving power and authority from centralized entity like an individual or organization to a distributed network. There is network distribution as because no one controls the networks because it is distributed. Different user can use have a several copies of same information. Synopsis of blockchain technology. There is a use of theorem of cap, which is in cap stands for consistency, availability, and partition tolerance are referred to as cap. Cap characteristics are consistency in the perspective of a distributed ledger. Consistency means that all nodes keep exact records of most recent alterations. Availability that any network transaction will be accepted the ledger at any moment. Partition tolerance that network can carry on to function correctly even though some nodes fail. Now, blockchain is classified into three categories, which are public blockchain, private blockchain, and consortium blockchain. First of all, I am going to explain what is public blockchain. It is a type of blockchain where anyone is free to join and participate in the core activities like read, write, and audit of the blockchain network. For example, bitcoins or cryptocurrencies. Other is private blockchain. It is not decentralized. It is distributed ledger that operate as closed database secured with cryptographic concepts and organizations need. For example, enterprise Ethereum's. Then there is a last one, consortium blockchain. It is a kind of group of private blockchains, each owned by individual institutions that have one banded together to share information to improve existing workforce transparency and accountability. Example, Hyperledger. Now, privacy and security properties of blockchain. There are several privacy and security properties. Like first of all, we are going to see ledger consistency among firms. It is not only result in high processing fees generated from service users and the ground side of the business and banking institution, but also lead to inconsistency among ledgers among provided by different financial institutions. Then there is a transaction integrity. It not only adds up management feed but also build up the risk of certificates being intentionally fabricated. Then data and system availability. Users were able to view financial data of whatever location at any time while using online services. Both server and transaction availability are referred to as availability. Then there is double spending prevention. Avoiding twofold or spending a coin multiple times is one of the most challenging part of transferring and virtual currency in the decentralized network. And then transaction confidentiality. A user desire to do a little knowledge about their activities and accounts published as possible during numerous financial online transactions. The following is the bare minimum of information. Unauthorized users are unable to view the user's transaction details. Users anonymity, the challenge of securely sharing user data across the many financial institutions might result in the high cost of recurrent user authentication. It also puts users' identity in the danger of being revealed by mediators. Transaction unlikability. Users should require the transaction committing them not to be connected, which is different from anonymity of identity. Curiosity or adversarial parties can anticipate a user's genuine identity with high degree of confidence using transaction and account statistics along with the certain background information about the user. Working of uh, working of a Bitcoin blockchain. Uh, a cryptocurrency supported by complete ecosystem. Bitcoin is more than a digital currency that may be used to make payments or held by investor in the hopes of seeing its value rise. The Bitcoin blockchain.
Raghu,
Yes, ma'am.
Rahul, please conclude in a minute.
Okay, ma'am. So blockchain technology will be used in extensive variety of applications. The blockchain will provide enhanced security for all types of transactions. Blockchains allowed Bitcoin transaction to be completed faster and lower cost than any other application. It is enhanced in safety, particularly for delicate and sensitive data. Blockchain application includes smart contracts like Ethereum and distributed ledger. This will increase security. And here are some preferences I have used for my paper. Thank you.
Hello, Rahul.
Yes, ma'am.
Though you were explaining regarding all the blockchain technology, wallets and everything, whether it is well accepted by the people?
Ma'am, it is not well accepted by the people of India right now, but I think it is people from abroad countries when the cryptocurrency made its way in the market, like its value increases day by day very much. When there is a time when Bitcoin is only worth of pennies, but now it is a millions of thousands of dollars worth of one Bitcoin. So people are collecting them and investing them as their asset.
Yeah, but we know that whatever traditional systems right now we are using for maybe online payments or banking applications, blockchain is more secure than that. But still, people hesitate to use it. Is there any reason behind it?
Ma'am, right now people are using UPI because first of all, when UPI was new to the market, the people was not aware of it. That's also the reason here. The people are not aware about the blockchains and their currency, cryptocurrency, which are they using in the market. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Rahul.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for all the presenter for the nice presentation. Right. So at the end of the session, I sincerely thank our all authors for their great presentation in this session and all our participants for being a part of this conference. And I hope this session was informative enough to all. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this version and the previous 6 version of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the 8th version in 2023. So all the presenter would be getting the digital certificates and the documents through the mail within the 2 working days. Further, all the paper have already forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team of ICTCS. I would also like to thank our session chair for the chairing the session and for the nice word to the author, Professor Gita Naule. There is a small token of appreciation on behalf of Team ICTCS and the Global Knowledge Research Foundation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the valuable presence, sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
And at the end of the session, I would request to all, please turn on the camera to quick snapshot of this virtual conference. Yeah. If you can, Vyom, Mandira, Sarvesh, Rahul, Naman, please turn on the camera. Thank you so much and the best of luck for the future work.
Thank you.
Thank you all and wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.